Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Arakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great wisdom, tell us his truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men pushing this truth and wholehearted, sincere to God's full ones. It's Akai Kwab back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Arakakadash. You know, thinking and meditating on this lesson, it makes me see that the Lord is really only going to save a remnant. He's only looking for who? The elect. The elect are only going to gain salvation. The elect are the ones who are going to make it in the end. You know, plus 1/3 women and children and men of Israel. Okay? But the ones that will have the chief office of the governing body of Israel are going to be the elect. The 144,000 men from the 12 tribes of Israel. So everything that you've seen, the men of GMS and the other men who speak like-minded doctrine, you know, everything, in fact, everything that you've seen on this earth, when it involves the Israelites and it involves preaching this word and spreading this word and waking up Israel and feeding the sheep, all of that was just for the elect to be sealed. The Lord allowed all of these different men throughout this world to do all of the things that they have done for the children of Israel to what? To raise up the elect, to wake up the elect, to remind the elect, the hopeful elect, of who they are, where they come from, and what they must do to make their calling sure, you know? So this is John chapter 17 and verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Verse 10, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. You see, and Yahushai is going to be really glorified and magnified in his elect men when he gives them spiritual powers and they are back on this earth, you know, hunting as hunters instead of fishers of men. You know, because it's going to come a time when there are going to be men of Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel, that are going to receive spiritual powers where they're going to be superheroes. You know, and just to use these terms, superheroes, in these worldly terms right now, because in our kingdom, in the kingdom of heaven under Yahushai, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be called superheroes. We're going to be called the elect men by our nationality, by our tribes, by our blood. You know, these worldly terms that Esau has penned and coined and penned on men, on us, and just in general, the things of Esau and these heathen nations are going to be wiped away. And it's going to be being renewed, kainos, fresh, as my Aktazah will always say, refresh, kainos, new, okay? And be things that are creative and created from righteousness, you know, not with an underlying of wickedness under it. You know, whereas TV and TV shows and movies, you know, they are being produced, but under the surface, there's some kind of wickedness under all of those things that Esau puts his hand on. You know, all of these things that have been allowed to happen in this world, is all for the elect's sake. This is all about the elect, the 144,000 men, and 1/3 of women and children. But the elect, the governing body. This is what this has all been about. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and great wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. You see? So this is saying that there's going to come a time when people are going to be fake, false prophets, saying things in the name of Jesus, you know. But the point that I wanted to bring out is that they shall deceive the very elect. If it was so, they could deceive the very elect. And that just shows you that the elect are on the earth today. There's an election of people that are destined for greatness, destined for immortality, destined for governing these nations with a rod of iron. The elect are here. They're just being sealed, okay? Let's go to Isaiah 65. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah an inheritor of mine mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. You see? So the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are the men on this side doing this work, on this side taking chastisement, on this side sacrificing these worldly things. To do what? To hopefully be in that seat of the election. To do what? To inherit the Lord's mountains. Okay? And when it says mountains, so let me read it again. I will bring forth a seed out of Yaquab and out of Yahudah, which is Judah, Yahudah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell in it, shall dwell there. You see? So just to show you that the elect are still here. The elect are here right now. Okay? They're not known widely, but they're still here. All right? This is verse 22. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. You see? So they shall not build and another inhabit. You know, and when you think about it, who built many, many great things and other people lived in them and took them from them? The slaves. The slaves built the White Houses. The slaves built all those houses on plantations. Okay? The slaves built up America. Okay? Without the slaves of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, America wouldn't be what it is today. They shall grow. They shall plant and another. They shall not plant and another eat. So think about it. When we was in those cotton fields, when we was in those peanut fields, when we was in those tobacco fields, collard fields, you know, sweet potato fields, sweet peas, beans, you know, corn, sugar cane. What else? It's many things that we went through, you know. Cabbages, radishes. Think about it. Why would Esau be planting? Why would he be a gardener when he had slaves? He didn't have to do these things. He didn't even have to know them. He had slaves. That's why they were fighting so hard during the Civil War, because those people from the South knew, hey, I can't run this farm. I can't plant these things. I don't know these things. And it's funny because these heathen nations that had Israel in captivity, they learned all of their customs, how to survive from the Israelites. When the Native Americans were on America, or so-called America, the pilgrims the pilgrims, when Esau came over, they were dying. They were dying from the winters. They were dying from the weather. They were dying from starvation. They didn't know how to cultivate land and corn and crops. And who taught them? Gad, the Native Americans taught them. Reuben, Simeon, they taught them, man. They taught them. They taught them how to survive on the land of Azareth, which is modern day America today, Babylon the Great. And what did they do in return? They murdered them. They took their land. They planted corn, and hemp and all of these things. And so this scripture is saying, they shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people. Mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and their offspring with them. You see? So, it's beautiful, man. In this wickedness, there's still some good. In this horrible world, there's still good. There is good here. Right here in these scriptures. The people who toil in these scriptures, they're good, man. You know when a person is truly sincere about these scriptures, that you can deal with them, man. You can be around them. You can invite them into your home. I'm not saying every brother, try the spirits. But what I'm saying is a person who is genuinely in love with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and these scriptures, they're different. They're different. You see it. Their spirit is beautiful, man. Their mindset is different. They take care of things. They take care for things that would not be deemed important in this life. All right. So Isaiah 66 is a good chapter, man. You should. 65, I suggest a lot of brothers read it, man. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 24. 24 and verse 31. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other. You see? His elect. They shall gather his elect. The elect are still here. They're just hidden. They're just waiting. They're waiting for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to raise them up, to give them back their power. And all of this work that all these men have done, all of these videos, all of this street preaching is for who? The elect. That's how you know the Lord is beautiful, man. The Lord made the whole world watch as he woke up the elect. That's why it says this right here, Matthew 24:14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, then shall the end come. You see, so The whole world heard this truth just for the elect's sake, man. The Lord put this word into the whole earth just to who? Just to give it to the elect. Yes. I never can find Titus, especially in my new sword. I'm not accustomed to it, so I can bear with me. Titus 1:1. Paul, a servant of the Most High and an apostle of Hamashiach Yahushai, according to the faith of God's elect, the Most High's elect, according to the faith of the elect, and the acknowledging of the truth which is after godliness. So the point that I brought this out is that an apostle of Hamashiach Yahushai, according to the faith of the Most High's elect, according to the faith, okay, of the elect. So that means that the elect are here, man. In the New Testament, in the Old Testament, this has all been about the elect. This has all been about waking up the men who are going to follow Yahushua in these last days. This is Luke chapter 18, verse 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? Verse 8, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And you see, just like I just read in Titus 1:1, you know, Paul was an apostle of Hamashiach Yahushai according to the faith of the elect. Okay, and so this right here is saying the same thing. All right, so like 18 and 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him? You see, and the elect crying day and night because they want to get out of this captivity. They want to be in their homeland. They want to be in the land that the Lord gave them. They want to be in good graces with Yahweh Shemi Yahushai, you know, in the back in the rulership, you know. They don't want to live under Esau no more, under these heathen nations, under these abominable people, you know, because that's what we've been forced to do. We've been forced to live under these beasts. We've been forced to live amongst these lawless beasts, man. To do what? To witness what wrong looked like. That's what we, you know. And it's funny because before I was in the truth, I always had a saying, you know, because I was in the military, you know, I supposedly made something of my life, you know, which is bullshit because I didn't. I was just a slave unto Esau. But let anybody else tell it that was in my family, you know, that I was well off, you know, I had money, and that's not the case at all. I struggled hard, you know, I struggled greatly in the military to pay my bills and to be, anyways, nonetheless, I used to always think, you know, when I heard other people talk about their parents, you know, my parents didn't teach me shit but what wrongs looks like. That's what I used to say. My parents didn't teach me and my family didn't teach me nothing except what wrong looked like and what I don't want to become. You know, what I don't want to do. You know, that's what I would say. So the Lord taught us what we don't want to do. He's showing us in this life how wickedness truly is. How abominable this earth could truly be if we, as the elect, as I say we, and I say that with hope and trembling, we as the elect should conduct ourselves if how this earth could be if we as the elect don't stand up and take our office, don't stand up for Yahweh Shem Yahushai and follow him. How he allowed the earth to be taken out of wickedness, how he allowed the children of Israel to be put under subjection at the hands of these lawless beasts. The Lord is showing us what wrong looked like. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. You see? So for a long time in this world, Israel didn't know that they were the children of Israel. And when I say Israel, I mean the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans didn't know who they truly were. Why? Because the Lord took it out of the earth. The Lord took the remembrance of Israel out of the earth through who? Through the heathen nations. Let's go to Psalms real quick. Psalms 83. Just to tap down, to double tap, just to show. This is Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. You see? And if you read up verse 2, Psalms 83, verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4, they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. So they cut us off. But the Lord allowed it, okay? The Lord allowed it to happen, all right? The Lord allows such things to happen, all right? Let me go to 45 again. So even though we haven't known the Lord, he called us. He gave us a name. He surnamed us. All right. He gave us a junior and the third. And if you think about it, he called us from the beginning. We just didn't know who he was. Why? Partly because we turned our backs on the Most High. And thirdly, after a while, Esau made it very hard for us to know this truth. Esau spent billions and billions of dollars and hours, invested hours and hours of his time to keep the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans from this truth. But the Lord still brought it out through the internet. Okay? So let me go to Catholics. Okay. 2 Corinthians 6 and 16. All right, but anyways, this is Isaiah 42 and 1. Behold my servant whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. You see? Judgment unto the Gentiles. And when you go into that word, it's not Hellenistic. It's not talking about the Gentiles of our people. The ones that, yeah, it is the 2/3 too. When you think about it, because 2/3 are Gentiles also. And when I say Gentiles, they've turned away from their heritage, and that means Hellenistic. But then you have natural born Gentiles, born by blood as not of Israel. Okay? So just to show you that the elect are still in the Bible, all right? and that everything that we've done in these last days is for the waking up to the re-emerging of the elect, to sealing the elect. You know, the scriptures say, "Hurt not the earth until my my until it's sealed in their foreheads," and that sealed in their foreheads is the faith, the understanding, the wisdom, the knowledge. You know, to of what's going on, of the understanding of these scriptures. It's sealed in the forehead of His elect. You know. So Yahweh Dazad, I was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.